Alright folks, we have the Diablo 4 patch notes for the today's patch, which is 1.1.0a. Let's check them out. So the important stuff, new unique items and legendary aspects. Alright. Uber unique stuff. Okay. Gain a random shrine effect for 10 to 20 seconds. After killing an elite, can only occur once every 30 seconds. That's gonna be fun. But they mentioned that is extremely rare. So, yeah, good luck finding that one. Unless they introduce a bug of some sort. But at least now we know Hell Tides can drop uniques. So, that's a place to go. Not only the Nightmare Dungeons completions. Alright, Azure Rat making a return. I remember that one from the previous Diablo games. Your core skill has up to 20% chance to freeze. Yeah, not not so spicy. Flash render for druid. More damage. Doesn't seem fancy to me. Necromancer. Okay, so the Lidless Slow makes a comeback as well. That's fun. Let's see. Does it have anything to do to the previous versions of the item, like in previous games? Mm, wow, you have an active Bone Storm. Hitting an enemy outside of the Bone Storm has up to percent chance to spawn an additional Bone Storm. Okay, so it doesn't have anything to do with the Lidless wall that we knew before, which is like cast rate, resource on kill, and skill points, stuff like that. It was quite a common drop in Diablo 2. Looks like it's not gonna be the case here. And okay, so each of your active sacrifice bonuses increases the chance by 25%. And the total number of additional bone storms you can have is +1. Most probably this is gonna be a thing for necromancers who use shield and golems, because bone storm also appears on your golem. So a shield and a golem, is that a thing? Like, why not just go with the two-handed weapon and insta kill everything? You have yourself a delete screen button there. But with this, I don't know which necromancer would even care about all this. But alright, let's see next. Eagle form, alright, that's fun. Mm. Penetrating shot has a percent chance to fire an arrow that bounces off walls. Okay, Path of Exile style, I guess. Hitting enemies from behind with penetrating shot will make them vulnerable. Okay, that's good, sounds good, but rogues and rogues usually don't use the bows and crossbows, so yeah, that'd be fun. It's a bow, and they use like the crossbow on purpose because it's more powerful. So yeah, that maybe that they are trying to balance skill and item usage, especially the underused ones, like we've seen on the season introduction video. They displayed all the underutilized skills in the game, like the least used. So maybe they're trying to make it more powerful. Okay, sorcerer, the Oculus. This is like one of the most sought items on, for example, on Diablo 2, but not on hardcore because not many people know how to play with it on hardcore, so they were avoiding it for other gear anyway. So let's see, what does this one? Most probably the free teleport. Gain the effect of the teleport enhancement for free. Yeah. When you raid using teleport enhancement, you are taken to a random location. Yeah, it's similar to the previous versions of the items, so most probably sorcerers are gonna use that. The thing is, it's like a unique one, so you need a focus or like something for the offhand. Anyway, and I think many sorcerers are using this approach because of cooldowns and all that, which are quite needed for the class. Developers note their Zurat and Flesh Render unique items have flat damage effects which scale with power. For example, at 820 item power, Zurat deals between blah blah damage. Okay, not big of a deal. New legendary aspects. General. Audacity utility aspect. When there are at least 5 close enemies, stun them for what? This can only occur. Stun them how? Stun them how? When they're just close and you stun them? Okay, looks like I'm gonna play Blood Surge, and maybe only hardcore during this season, especially because of this. I think it's gonna work quite well with Blood Surge. No matter when it pulls blood, it doesn't matter. Like it can be like really ranged enemy, and it's still gonna pull blood, but the Nova is not gonna hit them. It's only like the close enemies. So most probably that's something I could use. All right, we'll see. I'm playing Necromancer, of course. I'm not saying the other classes suck. I just don't like them as much. Okay, so Craven, mobility aspect. You gain percent increased movement speed when moving away from slowed or chilled enemies. Alright. Not a biggie, I guess. Barbarian. Ancestral charge, offensive aspect. Charge calls for ancients who also charge, dealing damage. Okay. Druid, subterranean, offensive aspect. Oh, they're all offensive. Okay. Poison creeper. Ah, that's a thing they started using recently. I started seeing them using this skill. So yeah, nice move, Blizzard. Mm. Okay, cast a landslide, a circle around you, or skills deal increased damage to poisoned. Okay. Necromancer. Gore quills, offensive aspect. Ha ha ha, okay. Bloodlands, finally something about it, okay? So yeah, most probably that's gonna be my thing during this season, Blood Necromancy. Bloodlands will consume blood orbs to also conjure lances from... Oh my god. No, they did not just do that. They did not just do that, please tell me. Please tell me that's a lie. It's gonna be insane because most probably many will be going Bloodlake Bloodlands, and especially with cooldowns and high attack speed, and the other aspect which is shooting automatically more blood lances. And by the way, blood lance is only good when you constantly target different enemies. So it shoots from the previous one, and all the previous ones are dead. Especially if you have this aspect for dealing increased damage to the primary target. So I think this is definitely going to be a thing this season. Blood necromancy, many will do that. So if you're tired of Bone Spear, which was always like the best necromancer skill in all previous Diablo games, except Diablo 1 because there was no necromancer there. So Bone Spear was always like a delete screen skill. You just walk around, press Bone Spear, and everything dies. So most probably they wanted to change that a bit. So that's what I see here. Rogue. Okay, pestilent points, offensive aspect. Every third cast of puncture is poison imbued. Okay, and they have a thing for poisoned enemies, so Rogue's gonna be quite powerful because of this. Alright, let's see the sorcerer. Searing wards, offensive aspect. After spending 20 to 100 mana, Your next firewall is free to cast and will destroy incoming small missiles. Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, I know actually many fire sorcerers or sorcerers in general are into firewall because it increases all your other damage, like if enemies are standing below the firewall. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing. You can use it also defensively. That's great. The problem here is for sorcerer, as usual, they're like the most squishy class. So yeah, definitely good addition here. Bug fixes, let's see. Made various improvements from accessibility perspective, primarily many fixes to the screen reader where it failed to read specific elements. Not much to add here, but I guess it's fine. I didn't use it at all, so couldn't really tell. Challenges. Hmm. Fixed multiple issues where specific challenges wouldn't provide the proper rewards. Okay, proper. Proper rewards could not be completed. All right. Fix multiple issues where certain challenges could be progressed through unintended means, whatever that means. Fix multiple issues where players could gain progress for certain challenges through the actions of other nearby players. I rarely play in groups, so I don't care. I mean, even if I see a bug, I don't abuse it, just report it, Because I honestly like the game and I think it's a good base to build on top of. So, like, why abusing a bug is not my thing because like I said, I like the game and I want to see it fixed so everybody could actually enjoy the real thing and not just, I don't think it's okay. Anyway, uh, fixed multiple instances where activities that should count towards the criteria for some challenges were not counted. Fixed an issue where players would not receive notifications for when one of their friends completed a challenge. Again, I don't really care, but if you do, that's your thing you want to know here. Fixed an issue where feats of strength were not accounted for when calculating challenge completion percentage. Okay. The feat of strength final slayer of the first modern now requires you to slay the level 100 pinnacle boss solo. The silence is hellish challenge remains unchanged. Okay, that's the thing if you do Echo of Lilith with people, because to me it just doesn't seem like the thing to do. Fixed an issue where the feats of strength, one of the first and earliest experience, did not display all the titles they rewarded. Maybe the only title that I use is the Necromancer, and so I don't care much about this one. Cooperative play. Again, I will most probably not care much about this one, but let's see. Fixed an issue where the camera wasn't functioning properly when players were far apart in local co-op. Huh. I played local co-op, but I didn't have this, so yeah, can't really tell. Fixed an issue where NPC conversation boxes would overlap if multiple local co-op players talk to the same NPC at the same time. Yeah, we never had that. Especially like when I played with Stardust. Most probably he'll come over in the following days to do the same thing after he gets tired of playing softcore for a few days. Fixed an issue where the rogue inner sight would only fill up for one of the players in a co-op session. Okay, that's weird. You know this thing which is like below the resource? Yeah, if you have that problem, it's fixed. Uh, Dark Potential challenge would be granted to both players when either player completed it, regardless of the other player's progress. Huh. Alright, fix multiple instances where quest progress would not properly synchronize or quest progression could be blocked for local co-op players. I don't know, we never had this. Fix multiple issues that occur during cutscenes for co-op players. Never had problems there either, you know. Okay, so dungeons. Oh, that's a lot of things for dungeons. Let's first see like oh, this is very long. Okay. This is long. This is long. This is long. They said like 6,000 six something words, right? As far back as I remember. Okay, let's get back to dungeons. Let's comment everything. Fixed an issue where the player would not be able to receive enough animals. Okay, fixed an issue where the stone carving in the Fallen Temple capstone dungeon would duplicate. Huh, maybe. Okay. Fixed an issue where the most early gen affix in Nightmare dungeons would also affect structures in that dungeon. Huh. Okay, funny. That's a good fix, I think, because you can shoot at structures and objects, especially if you're stacking armor. So yeah, that's a good thing. Fixed an issue where the Goatman cause enemies would continuously respawn in the Forsaken blah blah dungeon. Okay. Fixed an issue where the Sentinel enemies would not have weapons in the Bastion of Fate dungeon. Fixed an issue where Bastion of Fate. Okay, it looks like this is a problematic dungeon whatsoever. Fate dungeon could sometimes not be completed. I didn't have this problem. Fixed an issue where the player could respawn behind a barrier in the Fallen Temple capstone dungeon. Huh? Okay. Fixed an issue where the map for the Crusader Cathedral dungeon was incomplete. I don't think I have that. Fixed an issue where the curse of blah blah and the curse of blah blah would stack even while the player was dead in the Fallen Temple capstone dungeon. I don't know. I don't think I've died on that one, so I can't really tell if that's a thing. Fixed multiple instances where the fog door could not be progressed through in some dungeons. No idea. Never had this. Fixed an issue where the monster Thor suffix in Nightmare Dungeons was reflecting physical damage. It will now properly reflect non-physical damage. Right. Fixed an issue where blood boils would not properly spawn in Kordragan Barracks dungeon. Okay. Fixed an issue where traps would deal more damage than intended. Yeah, finally. Fixed an issue where level scaling in the level 100 Pinnacle dungeon was inconsistent. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Fixed an issue where the awakened glyphstone wouldn't spawn if the party leader left the dungeon before the dungeon was completed. Again, I could most probably never have this. Party play is obviously not my thing. Gameplay. So we don't care about Barbarian, Druid, we're gonna go straight to Necromancer. Fixed an issue where Necromancers could not obtain daggers from the Purveyor of Curiosities. I never had this. Fixed an issue where the Necromancer minions, again, I most probably never had this because the only minion I use is Bone Prison, would have their life bonuses deactivated while in town. Again, not my thing. Fixed an issue where Bone Spear cast through Chilling Wind form an elite enemy would increase the number of generated echoes for that cast. Right. Fixed an issue where enhanced bone spear could cause erratic movement. Uh, I never had this. Fixed an issue where canceling blood mist when it's already off cooldown would immediately recast it. Yeah, okay, that's good. Because when I use blood mist, I remember it actually had this problem of you being able to die after casting it, which is kind of sick because the skill makes you immune. It's weird to me, all this. We don't care about the rogue and the sorcerer. You can read those on your own if you play those classes. Again, I don't dislike them, I just don't like them as much as Necromancer. I will not be playing them, I will not be playing PvP because I'll be playing hardcore most probably. And when I go to the PvP zones, they're empty anyway, so, why bother? Read them on your own, if you will. General, fixed multiple instances where players could unnaturally teleport during boss encounters. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing which really annoyed me, especially like in dungeons where you just go from one room to the other as well. And when you enter the room, it just teleports you on the other side of the room, not like on the entrance which you came through. So hopefully that's related. No, I don't see how, but there were some maybe when you enter the boss and stuff like that. It's an issue where chests in the Western ways could be interacted with infinitely. Yeah, funny, I never had that. Fixed an issue where the Ahriman NPC could be interacted with in certain situations. Of course, they're not gonna mention the certain situations, right? Why bother? Where was that? Okay, fixed an issue where otherwise breakable objects in the world would not be broken when evading through them. That's a good thing, especially if you're stacking armor for dealing any form of damage. So, yeah, that's a good change. Fix multiple instances where the player could avoid damage from bosses if they position themselves in the specific location. Fixed an issue where forged relics could not be interacted with. Okay. Fixed an issue where monsters with a cold, bleeding, burning, or corruption affix would freeze players in one hit in Nightmare Dungeons with the cold enhancement affix. Yeah, I don't think I ever had this. I just don't like cold enhanced anyway. So, yeah, but these being able to freeze you with one hit, it's not fun at all. First you should have chill percentage, and then eventually you get frozen, right? So that's a thing. That's a good change here. Fixed an issue where cold enhanced monsters froze players more often than intended in higher world tiers. Well, that's a good thing as well, but what I can add to this, because I see many players who are complaining about crowd control in general, is this. So, you like using crowd control for monsters, right? But you don't like when monsters use crowd control on you. What's wrong with you? You don't have like unstoppable or immune or elixirs, or you have like at least four, maybe five ways to get rid of this, and you can on top of that like use topaz on all your armors. You get like 50 or 60% additional damage reduction while CC'd, which you can use to like escape from the CC. So not big of a deal. But again, less crowd control will be really favored by the players, I think. So that's a good change. Fixed an issue where chests could spawn that would provide infinite loot. Okay. So far so good. Helltide and the Fields of Hatred. Okay, let's see. That's gonna be something that I'll most probably do, especially the Helltide. At least like on World Tier 3 and maybe the beginning of World Tier 4. I could do it like a couple of times because uh, I say a couple of times because when you do like I don't know, no more than 20 Helltides, maybe even less. Like if you do them properly, you most probably will not ever need to go there again. Um, because you will already have all the resources and aspects and items and whatever you want to farm there. And the problem with the Hell Tide is it's always no more than 2 levels above you, so doesn't make it like a good place to farm XP. So eventually, when you collect all the materials you need from the Hell Tide, you're most probably gonna stop doing it. And it's easy, like 1, 2, 3, just rotate through the orange events, like in the orange circle, to get oboes, cinders, open the mystery chests. Never care about the target farming chests because they always drop crap. Even with the new fix where they have a chance to drop uniques, it doesn't really matter because they only drop one item compared to the mystery chests, which drop at least 4 legendaries. So, and elixirs and all that useful stuff. So why bother like wasting cinders for all those target farming chests? They're complete BS to me, you know. And you can also collect like the glowing interactables because they provide cinders and materials. And yeah, and basically, if you do a couple of hell tides, that's content you most probably gonna be done with. And Fields of Hatred, like I said, on hardcore, those Fields of Hatred are quite empty, and I feel very lonely there. So, unless there's something you want to get from this place on hardcore, I don't know. I don't see myself there at all. So, let's see what the changes are about. Issue where player damaged by the Helltide Firestorm while standing in blah blah. Okay, fixed enemies who is directed by Shannons would continuously drop cinders. Yeah, right. That was a thing indeed. Fixed an issue where chain lightning could bounce infinitely between the caster and other player characters standing in the Fields of Hatred town. I never had this. Fixed an issue where crackling energy could hit other players in Fields of Hatred town. We know, shocking. Yeah, okay. Fixed an issue when where other players could not see other players that they should when re-entering the Fields of Hatred zone. Okay. Fixed an issue where certain areas of Fields of Hatred would be incorrectly flagged as down. Unable. Yeah, that's the thing in general. Like, not only in the Fields of Hatred. That's a thing in the game. I even made some shorts for strongholds or some fields in general. You can't combat dismount. You can't jump from the horse. You can't stun. And the horse thinks it's in town, but you're actually not in town. And that's like quite the opposite here, right? Uh, yeah. No, it's basically the same actually, but it's not. What I'm trying to say is this is not only the Fields of Hatred bug. It was happening to me at least on many other areas, and I think I have like at least 2 or 3 videos about that bug. Item and aspects. Okay, fixed an issue where the cost reduction bonus from the Ring of Starless Skies could unexpectedly drop off. Yeah. Fixed an issue where aspects of Protector would trigger its barrier effect after destroying a breakable object. But it was only for elites, if you damage elites. So yeah, that's a good fix. The Ring of Misfortune had incorrect stats. Okay. The Ember Staff weapon didn't apply the bonus damage to crowd-controlled enemies, which is inherent for all staff types weapons. Fixed an issue where any character menu interaction would reset the bonus granted by the inner column aspect. I know this aspect. This aspect is stacking damage for every second you stand still. So that's a good fix in my opinion as well. That's a really good fix. Okay. Fixed an issue where the maximum life affix on the mark of the Conclave quest item was scaling improperly. That's good. Fixed an issue where aspect power could also increase when upgrading an item at the blacksmith. Huh. This should not be the case at all. It can only be upgraded by item power if you place it on a more powerful item, and that's only for certain aspects, not for all of them. The level requirement for sacred items will now cap at level 60. That's just great. And same goes for ancestral items, will now cap at level 80. So those of you who wanted items for your alts, this is your thing. You know? There you go. Oh, there you go. This direction. Okay, so this is really one of the most important changes for you guys who are willing to use already found items for your alts, which kind of makes you lose the sense of progression and see how your build develops, that kind of thing. Fixed an issue where the Mother's Embrace unique ring did not trigger properly with several abilities. Alright, why didn't they bother to mention those abilities? I don't know. I never had a problem with this ring. Monsters, quests, and events. Okay, user interface, MISC. Alright, let's see. Monsters. Items of higher power than intended were dropping from rare monsters. Yeah, okay. Many people will most probably not like this. Fixed an issue where the Vark's jumping attack dealt no damage when passing through the player. Uh, yeah, those are the wolves enemies. Fixed an issue where Pitless Girl Monster would endlessly run around in circles. I never had this. Fixed an issue where the lightning enhanced champion Goldman would fail to deal damage to the player. Most probably many like this bug because I know Goatmen and their shamans are like the NPC, like the units, which killed the most players, most probably because of their stun damage. Stun, and hit with this big weapon, How many died to this? I don't know. I didn't like it at first until it took me several seconds to learn how to crowd control them and destroy them on sight. So, yeah, people gonna like this, most probably. Fixed an issue of monsters with the suppressor affix would be immune to damage from abilities that started initially outside the immunity circle. When a barbarian yeah, I see. That's a good fix. That's a really good fix, actually. Uh, yeah. How I handle those is go inside the circle and cast Bone Spirit, and they're dead. So, yeah. Most probably decrepify them beforehand and stuff like that. Fixed an issue where clones of a monster with the suppressor affix could also have the suppressor affix. Well, ain't that a fix, right? Remember, for example, the Guram slums. There's always this suppressor before you enter the prison. And he has clones, the ones which are glowing red, which signifies demonic ethereal bodies, right? The bad energy, the devil energy, right? So those clones, they also have the suppressor affix. So it's like suppressor spawns two clones, and they also have the suppressor. And you have like a couple of bubbles, and you're trapped inside these different bubbles. And especially if you're ranged, you are kind of doomed because they repeat what the initial unit repeats. That's an amazing fix, but I don't know if it breaks the experience of the game, because I like the difficulty of how it was, and I don't know, maybe Blizzard just decided to favor the casual player by doing this, but you know, it is what it is. Okay. Fixed an issue where clones of a monster with the suppressor affix could also have the suppressor affix. Yeah, we just discussed this. Fixed an issue where treasure goblins would behave erratically if initially engaged from a long distance. Well, you know, okay, I'm fine with that. Fixed then multiple other issues where monster behavior could not perform properly and could be exploited in some cases. Yeah, so I don't know what they exactly mean by this, but I know in the game they are like mobs who can off-screen you, right? So such things kind of gave the player some hope, but now they're fixed. Okay. Quests and events. Um, okay. This is, like I see, this is for specific quests. So most probably we're gonna just skip this overall because those are bugs for specific quests. Okay. User interface and user experience. Okay. Let's see. Fixed an issue where the minimap didn't accurately depict the game world. Again, that's for a quest, for a specific quest, and for regions, specific regions. Uh, hmm. Let's see. I think we can skip through those overall. Fix mapping functionality. Okay, that's a good thing because I remember I had like this issue, especially on those some of those campaign areas where you're not allowed to use the map. For example, near the Tree of Whispers or near the Sandstorm. When you use the pin location, like map pin, it goes straight through them and it doesn't guide you. So even if you pin your location, you can also only follow your pin's location at the end of the minimap, right? And it doesn't show you the path to your pin. So hopefully this is included in this fix. Right. Various other UI and UX improvements. Miscellaneous, loading screen updates, gameplay updates. Do you have some more of this? More balance changes. Okay. Let's quickly go through these because it's becoming like a 40-minute video already. Okay. Outer Lilith unlocks are now account wide. So okay, these are the like important ones. Added more dynamic loading screens with the release of Season of the Malignant. Okay, so we're gonna see Malignant stuff on loading screens as well. Okay, so let's go to the important stuff. Authors of Lilith unlocks are now account wide. So if you got those, make sure to log in and spread your progression. Map discovery is now account wide. Wow, that's really amazing. Like, totally digging it. I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, it's not a good thing. Many will most probably like this. Maybe they should have like made it optional. Like when you create a new character, you can have it like the skip campaign, reveal map option, right? For those who don't want it, I would totally favor this. Whispers will no longer reward sigil dust. Huh. Okay. Overall loot quality has been significantly improved for silent chests. Okay, that's a thing now because I've opened many of those chests and whatever was inside was complete garbage. So most probably I'm going to try how this change reflects the silent chests. That would be interesting to me at least. Because the keys cost 20 obols, right? And the cheapest items at the haggler, like the gambling NPC, are at least 40 obols, so you might have a chance to get something cheaper, right? Especially in the early game when you're like level up to level 25 to get this boost, especially on boots and amulets to get movement speed and attack speed on gloves. Faster movement and attack speed means faster clear and faster progression, so this definitely helps. We'll see how that goes on higher world tiers. The channel time for the Leave Dungeon ability has been increased. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Really now? Seriously? So like when I complete a dungeon, I have to wait 2 more seconds to leave the dungeon? Why? Maybe many people were using it to escape dungeon content, but on hardcore we don't care about this because we have a scroll of escape, like you insta teleport out of wherever you are and you're placed in the waypoint of Kiowa shot, right? So let's see. Okay, next. We have generally reduced the tendency for many monsters to move around in combat so that melee characters don't have to chase down their enemies as much. I could not really care less about this because melee was never my thing, you know. Added PS5 DualSense Edge wireless controller support for PC. I guess that's okay, but please give me the adaptive triggers effects and also, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? The haptics and all that. It's not present in this game at all. Just like when you level up or you're in a poison or burning or whatever, like take damage over time, your control vibrates and that's all. So there's no like tingling sensation when it snows or rains or where whenever something cool happens, it's not reflected on the controller. And I have one right here, so I know what I'm talking about. Oh, it has a tape because I'm experimenting with something. Alright, world tier. World Tier 2 has had the following bonuses added. Bonus gold increased. Monster now drop more items. Right. Level scaling inside dungeons and most overworld territories have been adjusted in World Tiers 3 and 4. Monsters will begin to trail behind the player in level after a certain point. Open a maximum of 5 levels behind. This change does not affect world bosses, Legion events, Fields of Hatred, Helltide, or Nightmare dungeons. We want to give players a better sense of their power progression and mastery over the world while still challenging themselves with structured endgame activities. Ah, alright. World Tier 3 example. If the player's level is below 55, the monster's level is 55. Okay. If the player's level is 56 to 60, the monster's level is 55. What the hell? If the no no if the player's level is 61, the monster's level is 56. Okay, so you have no incentive to do anything in the open world now. You can completely ignore it, unless it's some side quest, one of those blue ones, right? World tier example, world tier 4 example. Uh, yeah. Okay, so like I said, no incentive to do anything in the open world. They want you to do nightmare dungeons. That was their thing initially, and that's what I've been doing all the time anyway. So I don't really care, except if it's like Helltide. When you first get to World Tier 3 and you're level 55 and you're level 55 and you can deal like at least 15k damage, at least. Helltide will be your thing for at least a couple of times. So yeah, I can understand this. They just want you to focus on the end game activities and not the open world anyway. Experience. World experience for completing Whispers in World Tiers 3 and 4 has been significantly increased. That's a good thing because I usually only do these on Helltide, right? And this is how Helltide makes even more sense, like when combining them with the Tree of Whispers quests. Otherwise, like doing both when they're not together was not as rewarding to me. And basically, the Tree of Whispers was never rewarding to me, and what I used it for is to get my first nightmare dungeon sigil, so I can go do this more interesting and more challenging stuff. So trying to unlock it immediately after I get to World Tier 3. So those changes don't reflect me as much. Most probably people were doing like things with which Blizzard did not intend at all when they didn't see it through, or like trying to abuse party stuff, re-entering, switching parties, going to dungeons and crap like that, which is, not my thing, like I said many, many times. Okay, we have observed that the experience bonus rewarded for killing higher level monsters escalates too fast when compared to the relative challenge involved. We still want to reward players for taking on this challenge by encouraging them to participate in power leveling together instead of one player killing enemies while another member of their party waits at the dungeon entrance. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, those of you hardcore players who have someone to push them up when you die, you know, you got slammed officially. Nice. Okay, we're adjusting bonus experience rewards for killing monsters that are higher level than the player. One level higher, 15%, 3 level higher, pre-season. Okay, so that was the thing. That was the thing right now. Post-season of the Malignant, 1.5% bonus per level up to 10 levels. Uh, so my strategy when I go to fight level 15 monsters from level 1 might be a thing now, because of this. Okay. We're also adjusting experience words for monsters level offsets for higher world tiers. World tier 2 up to 3. What? What? Plus 10, plus 100? What? Tier level offsets. If you're level 1, your friends bring you world tier 4 and leave you at the entrance of a dungeon. They start killing level 100 monsters. Prior to Season of the Malignant, you get level 100 monster XP. Okay, yeah, but still, this is not a fix, really. They just made it last longer. By just getting less XP doesn't mean people will not do it, right? They're gonna do it. They're gonna make gold out of it because they sell it on the official Discord as a service, right? And then what they're gonna do is go sell this gold on websites, right? So, bashing right there. This won't change a thing. It's just gonna take them more time to do the same thing over and over. So, yeah, Helltide. Helltide monsters are now 3 levels higher than the player instead of 2. Okay, this makes me want to do Helltides in general now. More often. Especially if materials are needed. I go to Nightmare Dungeons, which have mobs 3 levels higher than me anyway, so that's gonna be my thing as well, I guess. What I used to do is rotate Nightmare Dungeons and then Helltide, Nightmare Dungeons and then Helltide. So like couple of Nightmare Dungeons and when the new Helltide time comes again, just go do Helltide. The Tortured Gift of Mystery chest has had its cost increased to 250 from 175. Okay, so that's gonna be a problem, I guess, at least initially, for the Helltides which have resets. The number is not a problem, but the problem is when you go from event to event, you know, sometimes other players come to ruin your event, like spreading the mobs, making them more difficult to kill, or difficult for you to gather them and just one-shot them, wasting your time and all that. And on top of that, now the mystery chest is even more expensive. It's not by much, I mean. For the entire Helltides, you most probably can't open more than like 5 of these anyway with the previous price, like cost, whatever. So I find this okay. It was too OP anyway. You get like very high rewards for opening those, especially when knowing where they are in advance. All interactable objects in Helltide don't now have a small chance of dropping aberrant cinders. Alright, that's good. Because previously it was only the glowing ones, so that's a great change. Great change. So they kind of try to make up for this change with this one, and now you're more incentivized to go do Helltide because the level difference is higher. That's great, I think. Balance updates. Other community can do blah blah. We're chosen to focus on the malignant balance updates, a clear itemization, blah blah blah. The blah blah blah, the blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Okay, screw that. And let's see the necromancer changes. Initiate decompose slow increase from oh, wow. Wow. That's amazing, especially if you play decompose and minions. That's gonna be great for you. Paranormal Sever casts required for vulnerable are reduced. I think it should actually do it on every cast because that's BS to me at all. Um, but still, it's quite the improvement. Enhanced blood surge increased from 2.5% to 3% maximum life. Okay, enhanced blood loss, damage reduction for piercing reduced from 15 to 10. Bone prison initial essence gained increased for, oh, nice, from 15 to 25. This doesn't make much of a difference to me because the way I use Bone Prison is first kill an enemy, then use corpse tendrils, gather as many enemies as possible, and then use the Bone Prison, and it always gets me my full, like, always gets my essence full. So, you know, not a biggie here. Iron Maiden healing increased. Okay. This is when mobs die, I think. Golems move faster and unhindered to enemies when their cooldown is activated. Okay, that's insane. That's actually insane. I think golems have quite the potential now, especially if you find the Lidless Wall, the new unique shield. Supreme Blood Wave leaves behind blood orbs earlier in its path. Haha. Ha 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 ha. So you won't be able to stack those blood waves, those blood orbs anymore, right? You know what I mean? When you like stand still to cast blood wave, and you're stacking blood orbs to kill something with blood artisan with the free bone spirit. I want to see how this changes this concept because most probably many people will try this if they have those items, especially with the aspect where you shoot like second and a third wave to get more blood orbs. Okay. Rise skeleton, corpse explosion, and corpse tendrils range for auto-targeting corpse on mouse and keyboard increased by 50%. Yeah. I remember people were complaining about this, but again, not my thing. I play on PS5, which doesn't have mouse and keyboard support, unfortunately, which I would really want to see because I would rather do just the combat with the controller, not everything, you know. A skeleton bonus damage increased. Okay, a skeleton priest healing increased. Yeah, if that's like the only changes they're gonna do for minions, which are not bone prison. I don't think that minions are still powerful. Maybe only golems with the change up there, but you know, evolution bonus damage to vulnerable. Alright, that's just bad. That is bad, guys. That's the best passive for Bone Spear and Bone in general. That's problematic here. Transfusion minion healing increased. Okay, yeah, That's above the bone. Amplify damage increased. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Drain vitality, lucky hit chance increased. This is great, actually. Both of these are really great, but I don't know why they reduced this. Maybe they saw too much damage from bone skills, but I can't really agree on this because if you don't have a good weapon, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, if your weapon is not 800 plus, it can't do more than like 7 million damage, I think. Like, or maybe in certain cases, when you have the Corpse Tendrils aspect on a 200 weapon, you can notice higher damage numbers. I think I made it do like 15 million damage with a crappy weapon on top. Book of the Dead, Necromancer's minions will now automatically resummon after respawning during a world boss fight. Okay. Skeleton Warrior Defenders upgrade Thorns inherited increase from 40 to 50. Okay. Skeleton Shadow Skeleton Mage upgrade attacks required to additional Shadow Bolt reduced. That's amazing. Bone Skeleton Mage upgrade fortify amount increased. Okay, that's quite huge. That's almost double. That's great. Iron Golem's upgrade attack required for slam attack reduced. Okay. Paragon Essence Glyph bonus now affects all damage instead of just core skills. Yay! That's amazing. Actually, if you are a necromancer not utilizing the essence glyph, you got a serious problem up here. Okay, but still, I think they should have done this like originally, but that's a great change. Excuse me. Splintering aspect, bone shard damage bonus reduced. Uh, yeah, that's the thing actually. Because I noticed sometimes the the splinters of the bone spear, doing more damage than the initial bone spear before it splinters, which is kind of not okay for me. So I think that's a good change. It was quite a shock for me to see this, but maybe they saw it too and decided to address it this way. Excuse me, which is not a bad way to address this problem, actually. Um, but most probably this will make people not very happy, right? I couldn't care less about this now because I'm most probably going to play more blood rather than bone. Aspect of plunging darkness bonus damage increased. Yeah, darkness skills suck, honestly. Um, Darkness and duty for Necromancer in this game kind of sucks because it makes you wanna stack crit, which is complete BS to me, duty and crit because of the Shadow Blight. Okay. Codebringer aspect, Blizzard cooldown reduced. Okay. This is for the skeleton mages. Aspect of Hungry Blood, chance to fire blood lance increased. Okay. Now we're talking, and with the new change, we definitely gonna play Bloodlance this season. See how it works with all those changes. Blood Soak aspect damage increased. Okay, nice. Aspect of Ultimate Shadow damage increased. Okay. Aspect of Grasping Veins critical strike damage bonus reduced. That was actually quite expected. Like I said before, it's It's especially if you put it on a 200 weapon, it's generating insane amounts of damage. Osseous get aspect bonus, bone storm duration increased. That's good. Aspect of the damned damage bonus increased. That's also good. Like I said, darkness was really crappy. Blood-based aspect echo damage reduction reduced from hmm. Yeah, that's because they actually increased from the one from the Bloodlands. Okay, that makes sense. Aspect of reanimation, skeletons damage bonus increased. So there you go. You can finally play minions, which are not bone prison. Items: bloodless cream essence gained increased. Nice. Deadless visage damage increased. Uh-huh. So you got like 3% increase, but very high decrease. So if you're playing a Bone Spear Necromancer right now, just make sure to not update your game yet. If you want to have the same fun. But still, you have to update it anyway. Yeah, that was a joke, obviously. Sarcasm all the way. General aspects of the disobedience maximum stacks increased. Okay. Reducing maximum armor bonus from 25 to... Oh, wow. That kind of sucks. But yeah, we'll see how it works. Retribution bonus damage to stunned. Reduced. Exploiter aspects bonus damage to unstoppable. Reduced. Starlight aspect resource restore increased. The Butcher's Cleaver slow increased. Wow! Okay, so it's just a min. Drop rate adjustment. Bonus to Ancestral and Secret items of Nightmare Dungeons. Removal of a 20% chance to drop extra equipment from elite monsters outside Nightmare Dungeons and Helltide. Instead, increased chance to drop an extra equipment from elite monsters in Nightmare Dungeons and Helltide. Okay. Yeah, like I said, they want you to do Nightmare Dungeons. That's the thing. So those kind of changes, they're gonna be there for quite a while. Especially having in mind it's a new game, right? And new games always have many problems, and the series of hotfixes and patches is quite expected. I don't think I should really actually comment on all of them, but I decided to do it on this one, no matter it's gonna be like really long video. I don't know who's gonna watch this. It's gonna over an hour, but still. Nightmare Dungeons now have 50% chance to drop a second legendary item upon completion. Like I said, they want you to do Nightmare Dungeons and they want you to solo it. Yeah, that's the thing. Nightmare Dungeons now give 3 rare items upon completion, up from 1. Okay. Because I remember when you get those Nightmare Dungeons which are higher, and you always get a gem. Like, why even bother? Why would you know, a gem? Come on, with something which is dropping like all the time, especially if you go to Helltide, or in general, they just drop a lot, and getting them for dungeon completion or every time, you know. Increase monster XP scaling from 85 to 100% bonus per extra player in a party. Wow. That's gonna be fun. Okay. Adjusted the scaling of the Greed Shine to improve its effectiveness throughout the game. Huh. Okay. World bosses now drop potions more often. Like, why even care about this? World bosses, the thing is, they either one-shot you if you don't have like much damage reduction and armor, or they die in less than a minute. So yeah, more potions. Uh, who is that helping? I don't know. Mm, there's no longer a limit to how many materials you can refine into higher materials at once. Oh, right. They should also make this for when making elixirs or when getting something which is in multitudes. Uh, Because I remember I have to do it always in like 20s, in 20, in 20. That I don't know, just took a lot of time. Many affixes are too efficient and are outshining alternatives. We're looking to refine the out, blah blah, whatever. Improve the number of meaningful choices on competitive slots and increase the overall flexibility of items. We know these changes will reduce the total amount of possible power a character can possess, so we'll be monitoring how these changes affect players' ability to conquer expected milestones throughout the season. Okay, so there's this thing. Those new powers that we're gonna get from the season, they're most probably going to like nullify all those nerfs. So people most probably will not be happy about all those nerfs, but having in mind those new powers that we're gonna get from the malignant hearts will most probably obliterate those nerfs if you use them properly. And most probably that's why they do it, but hopefully people don't get that pissed while not realizing it, because usually that's what people do. When they don't understand something, they call it names. They feel offended by it. They call it stupid. They go against it and all that. It's it's okay, but when you realize the mistake, like at least admit it and all that. Anyway, control impaired duration reduction can now appear on pants. Like, who gives a shit? Barrier generation can now appear for all classes. It will also begin dropping later in the game. Like, who gives a shit? Lucky hit chance while you have a barrier can now appear for all classes. Cool. This would be a really good Necromancer edition. Reduce by to helm and amulet and offhand. Okay, master skill damage. Newly added can appear on sorcerer weapons, skills identical to core skill damage. Okay. Resistance to all elements cannot appear on shields. Like, who cares? Huh. Strength stronger when on weapons. Dexterity stronger when on weapons. What? Uh-huh, it's reduced. Okay. Yeah, got it. Cooldown reduction. Wow. Ho ho. Woo. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Yeah, congratulations. That's really bad, but especially if you get it on amulet, on focus, on a helmet, on boots, and you can basically have uh, over 100%, over 100% cooldown reduction, which is, I don't know, feels insane. Especially for corpse tendrils, imagine that you do it like every couple of seconds. And now you can't, that's the thing. Or the blood wave thing. It it will have to wait. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. We're seeing critical strike damage and vulnerable damage often viewed as hard requirement for build success in Diablo 4. We believe this is a step towards allowing more builds to flourish, and will continue to make changes to support this goal. Critical strike damage reduced by 17%. Critical strike damage with bone reduced. Okay, yeah. Vulnerable damage reduced by 40%. But wait, it starts as 20%. How come it's reduced by 40%? This doesn't make sense, at least to me. Maybe I'm dumb. Just let me know in the comments, alright? Let me know how you understand this because I didn't quite get it. So, um, some things that okay, it's reduced by 40% when it's gonna be like 12% ish, right? Okay, got it. Anyway. Yeah. Cooldown reduction, inherited. Yeah, it's also reduced, like from the focus. Yeah, okay. Vulnerable damage, inherited on crossbow. So, rogues, you got fucked as well. Good luck. Damage to crowd control enemies, decreased damage to frozen enemies. Increased. Wow. How is that fair? Well, that's the thing with Blizzard. They always made the Blizzard sorcerer too powerful. And that's gonna be a thing in this game as well. So I'm not gonna read this at all. Physical damage increase, fire damage increase, that damage increase. You know. So those nerfs up there now this makes up for them. So yeah, nothing scary here. Blood skill damage, bone skill damage. Okay. So now it makes more sense. Things are gonna do more damage, so that's why all those nerfs. And also because of the malignant hearts. So, okay. Damage reduction, reduced, okay. Yeah. That was actually quite expected. That was really expected. So, yeah, that covers it all. Looks like this video is an hour and 17 minutes and something. Yeah. I don't think I have much to add. It all made, especially when you read like till the end, it starts to make sense. But before that, it might get people pissed off. But now that we know the complete changes, we're gonna play Bloodlines. I'm gonna play Bloodlines. Who's with me? Let me know in the comments. You can add me. Take care.